There be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow just you wait and see. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after. Tomorrow when the world free. The shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and he will go to sleep in his own little room again. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow just you wait and see. Dame Vera Lynn was very popular in World War II and still is very popular nowadays, partly because she's still lively and smiley and friendly at 103, but also in those days partly because she was an attractive, smiley young woman, partly the warmth of her voice and her personality, but also possibly because of the songs that she sang at the time fitted the mood of the time and possibly touched on some of the basic instincts deep within us human beings. When life is absolutely rubbish, it's often the hope that things don't have to be like that the future can be better, that will keep us going. Whether or not you're a fan of his, a lot of us were moved by how Boris Johnson said that when he was so poorly, one thing that kept him going was the thought of the baby that was expected. We all like stories that have a happy ending. It somehow seems right that good should win out over evil. And I pick up some of that feeling in this song, the promise that though there's a war on, one day there will be the bluebirds, the sign of hope, that things will go back to normal, or at least there will be peace. What has been dry and dead will come to life again, the valley blooming again, and that people need not be scared anymore. And one thing that I picked up on as a Christian was that idea of the shepherd. In the most popular psalm of all, God is compared to a shepherd who looks after his sheep and cares for his people. And in John's Gospel, Jesus compares himself to the Good Shepherd. And it reminds us that whatever we might think, however unpleasant things are, God has our back. There's also this image of the valley blooming again. And again, in the Christian tradition, there are many such examples. In the Old Testament, the wilderness perhaps blooming again, and that wonderful image in the book of the prophet Ezekiel about a valley of dry bones, where the bones are knit together, covered with flesh, filled with breath, and become an army of people. Now, it can seem silly to talk and insensitive to talk about hope when perhaps we've lost people we love, when we can't see a way out of this. And yet, it is people who've believed in that kind of hope who've made a difference, often made a difference in our world. People who think, well, actually, no, people don't need to fight each other. There doesn't need to be grinding poverty. That women, people of colour, and perhaps people with disabilities are as important as the groups that have held more power, that everybody is valued because we all matter to God. We may wonder what life after COVID-19 will be like, whether we'll go back to normal or not. And I have to say I'm looking forward to some things going back to normal, like being able to see more friends and family. But I hope also that we'll go on to the good things of the old normal, but also take the lessons we've been learning in the past few weeks to build a world that's fairer, safer, kinder. Amen.